Which car? Phil Wright, the purple Metro of Jack Ashton. Then it's the Camp Civic and the Window Integra. As the red lights go out and the race gets underway. Good start by Jack Ashton as predicted. Ali Camp makes a pretty good start from row 2 as well. Philip Wright going on to the sort of pit lane exit there to try and find a way back through on the inside of Jack Ashton. But they're going to go 3 wide into Riches for the first time, and the little Metro was sort of sandwiched there between the two much bigger Civics as they make their way up towards the Wilson hairpin. So it's Wright that's got the lead. Ashton second, Camp in third, who leaves the door open for Ryan Polly. Polly goes through on the inside to take third place away from him. Then it's Chris Smith and then Stuart Window in the Integra. But that was very tight, wasn't it, as they went into Riches for the first time between Wright and Camp and Jack Ashton in the middle of all of that.
Quite scary from Ashton's point of view. These two big cars either side of him. I wouldn't think a Honda Civic's that big, but compared to the Metro, they absolutely are. And Camp is coming to the outside of Ashton. And he's going right round the outside here. So can he make this work? Potentially, he's alongside. I wonder if Jack Ashton's gone different on the tyre setup here, and that's why maybe he's not quite as quick as he has been on previous races right at the beginning. And Alistair Camp's gone right round the outside of him at Hamilton to go through, and Ryan Polly's coming through as well. He's trying to get both of them. Polly breaks so late. He passes Ashton, he passes Camp, he's second. We thought Ryan Polly was going to be on a charge here. He's started 6th, he's up just second, and this race start hasn't really gone the way that I thought Jack Ashton would go. I say maybe a different setup. We'll see how this 15-minute race develops.
Yeah, it could be that he's playing the longer game here and hoping for more durability at the end of the race. He's under a little bit of threat now from Chris Smith as well in that red number 18 Civic as they head down the straight towards Brundle and Nelson. Smith not able to get past Ashton there as they went into the left-hander. There's Tate Taverner in the number 22, the multicoloured Civic Type R, but he's behind Paul Jarvis, so that's for position within Class B. Looks like Neil Stringfellow in the Peugeot 205 leading Class B at the moment, and Class C is not being led by David Drinkwater, I don't think, at the moment.
No, that's Martin Paget in one of the Citroen Saxos. Meanwhile, the leaders are making their way back to the end of the lap, and Ashton breaks so late. He gets right on the tail of Ali Camp. He got Chris Smith behind him as well. There's the 205 Peugeot, that's Neil Stringfellow, who leads Class B that you mentioned. But up across the line, then it's Phil Wright that leads, who's trying to build a gap between him and Ryan Polly. He knows how quick Polly will be. The time for this race started slightly early, but it did that yesterday, and we still got 7 laps in, so I presume we should do so again. So the 6 cars out front, separated by a couple of seconds, turn their way down towards the Wilson hairpin, and Jack Ashton's now under pressure from Chris Smith. However, he's trying to get up the inside of Alistair Camp at the same time, couldn't quite make it. Although Camp's wide out over the curb, so can Ashton make anything of this into Palmer? I don't think he is, so he hangs on in 4th position. But it's Phil Wright that leads Ryan Polly as they turn their way down towards Agostini, 2 drivers that have been racing with the 750 Motor Club for quite a while. Similar can be said actually for Alistair Camp. He looks up a bit. Jack Ashton, he's been a debut driver this season in 4th place ahead of Chris Smith, and then Stuart Window, another driver that's been with the club for a while, in 6th.
Sean Green on his own a little bit in 7th place. Then it's Leon Shepherd, Chris McCloy, and then Neil Stringfellow round out the top 10 at the end of the opening lap. Chris Smith trying to go around the outside of Jack Ashton at Oggies. Jack Ashton's not going to allow that. Chris Smith goes a little bit too wide in the end, and Ashton holds on to 4th position. So Ashton in the Metro, number 79 is 4th, Chris Smith, number 18 is 5th, and then Stuart Window, number 82 in 6th position as they head along the Bentley Straight for the second time in what we think is going to be a 7-lap race. There's Philip Wright then out in front, and he's got a reasonable advantage at the moment over Ryan Polly. It was 1.1 seconds at the beginning of the lap. Polly, I would think, would like to be focusing on Phil Wright and catching him, but he's got Ali Camp right behind him as well, which is something of a distraction. And then you've got this battle, 4th, 5th and 6th right together. Ashton Smith and Stuart Window now with them as well. So good fight for 2nd, good fight for 4th.
That's right, Alistair Camp's got on to terms with Ryan Polly during this lap. Well, at the end of the lap, Polly looked a little quicker. Jack Ashton unable to live with the Civics in this race, so not going as expected so far for him. And then Chris Smith behind as they now charge their way up across the line. The lead was 1.1 seconds, Phil Wright to Ryan Polly. It stays at that, but the quickest of all is Alistair Camp there in 3rd position. For 4th, Chris Smith going up the inside of Jack Ashton, but Ashton turns into Ritchie's in front. Chris Smith bounces over the curb and is not able to go through. So that lap from Camp, I think it's the quickest we've seen him go all weekend. So he's trying to end it with a win. It's gone past Ryan Polly, I think, into second place. One of the Saxos there have had a moment. That is the car of Alex Martin, I think.
Yeah, number 19. Alex gets back on.
But has Camp got second here? He got lead. Phil Wright must have had a mistake there. So Alistair Camp, who was third, is leading. Second is Polly, and third is Wright. So that's all changed around. Phil Wright, who's had 2 wins over the course of this weekend, has dropped to the back of the trio out front, who have all won races this season. Alistair Camp has won multiple times, hasn't he? The most of all won
7, isn't it?
On
for
7,
this weekend.
Yeah. 5 for Phil Wright and just the 1 for Ryan Polly.
Yeah, and Ryan Polly here could be in a good position to get a win, which he kind of deserves after leading the race yesterday before retiring with issues. But talking about retiring with issues, Phil Wright, I think, might be heading in that general direction. The car's slowing. Is he back up to speed now? But I wonder if he's just got some kind of intermittent issue that's affecting the performance of that car.
Yeah, he's not in contention up front. So that's a shame for him. But Ryan Polly, looking for win number 2 of the season. Jinx out to the toe. Can't, though, get alongside Alistair Camp. So Camp still the leader in the area motorsport Honda Civic. Ryan Polly P2. Back onto the podium then for Jack Ashton. Stuart Windows behind him now. So he's got himself up ahead of Chris Smith on this lap of the race. So can Stuart Window get onto the podium? I think he just missed out on that yesterday, didn't he, in 4th place. So we'll see what happens. But out front, Camp brakes desperately late for Murray's. He's going wide. He's off the track a little bit, and he's going to lose momentum, I would think, to Ryan Polly in the Matt Tools backed car that's right behind. And now he pulls out to the left-hand side of the racetrack. They're going to be alongside one another, heading up towards Ritchie's. Camp still got the inside. It's side-by-side behind as well. But firstly, we'll watch the leaders, because Ryan Polly slots around the outside to move ahead of Alistair Camp, and behind Stuart Window in the Honda Integra goes through into 3rd place. But it's all gone wrong at Murray's.
Yeah, and that's Leon Shepherd that's had an incident. The car, as you can see, coming to rest upside down. Number 73, Adam Croft spins. I wonder if there's some fluid on the circuit. There's other cars spinning. Daniel Coxwell, David Drinkwater tries to squeeze through. Leon Shepherd is managing, I think, to get himself out of his car. But clearly something has gone awry there, and we get the race stopped. The red flag. We've got just about half of the race, actually slightly less than half of the race left to go on the official clock. So I do wonder if that might be that, as far as the PBS Brakes Hot Hats Championship season is concerned, which would be bitterly disappointing for Ryan Polly, because he'd just taken the lead, and if the result does go back a lap, it will go back probably to lap 2, which will be when Phil Wright was still leading.
That's right. So that's all
interesting.
It's slightly
it's
confusing.
just as well the championship's decided already, isn't it? I think.
And I am very concerned about this last race of season curse at 750 Motor Club this year. There's been a rather lot of incidents in last races of the year.
You could see some fluid pouring out of Leon Shepherd's car there as it was upside down, so I hope he's out of the car.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, so that's good news.
That's why he was quite keen to get out at speed.
And yes, and that might also explain why other cars were going off in the background.
Also, of course, we saw Phil Wright slow with that issue. Was there anything going on there? I don't think he got back to the line, did he? So do you have to be running at the red flag to be classified?
Well, I think he probably was still running at the red flag, wasn't he? He was certainly running.
Well, he didn't come across the. Oh yeah, he was 16th. Yes, he didn't come across the line, did he?
Well, the red flag went out before he got to the line, I think, is the point. And so therefore, we don't know whether he got across the line or not.
Marshall's on the grid as if this could be restarted.
Yeah, because we've not yet got the green flag. We do have the green flag at the back. The 5-second board goes up. And I don't think, we're quite going to have time for 3 laps. Just 2 then. The red lights go on. And they go out. And it's a pretty even start between the 2 front row drivers. A good start as well by Jack Ashton in the Metro. It looks like Ryan Polly, though, is going to lead into the first corner. Is he? Yes, he is. And it's Ashton trying to go with him there as they go through the first corner. They sweep past our camera there. It's Ashton on the outside line for Wilson. Polly on the inside line. And very sideways, Jack Ashton there, very sideways, Chris Smith as well, a little bit further back. So he falls back alongside Neil Stringfellow in the Class B leading Peugeot. So it's going to be Ryan Polly then leading, Ashton still second, Camp third, Stuart Window fourth, Chris McCloy fifth and Chris Smith sixth.
Yeah, the reason Smith was sideways, he got a tap from McCloy, but they all sorted themselves out. Jack Ashton, another good start to this race, but now he's under pressure for second because Alistair Camp coming round the outside, and he might well make that work. He's absolutely alongside Jack Ashton, heading down towards Hamilton, while the rest of the field make their way down towards the hairpin, but Camp's gone right round Ashton at Hamilton. He's a little bit wide though, but he has made it work into second position. So again, yeah, not the best of starts from Camp really, was it? So Ryan Polly out front and getting away from then Camp and Ashton and Window, second, third and fourth, and Chris Smith back up to fifth, and Sean Green is way off the road. So he gets back on. See, Paul Jarvis has dropped way back in Class B, so I don't think he's going to get that win. And Martin Paget still ahead of David Drinkwater, looking for that first win in Class C. Class B, by the way, was being led still by Neil Stringfellow. For third, Stuart Window up the inside of Jack Ashton. They're side by side, the Integra, which is a much longer car. Alistair Camp's gone off the road, so he's done a bit of a bend short there, but hasn't gained an advantage, I don't think. He's there in second place still. Then Ashton, Window, Smith, third, fourth and fifth.
Okay, so it's Polly from Camp. Despite that off for him, Ashton's just about hanging on from Stuart Window, and Chris Smith in behind them as well. He's got back ahead of Chris McCloy then. Neil Stringfellow in seventh place overall, leading Class B. It's
a car way off at Coram and gets back on again, so no real drama there. In the end, but a bit of a scary moment for someone.
Might have been Alan May, I think, possibly, as the leaders come up and over the line again. It's a decent lead for Ryan Polly as they go on to this final lap of the race then. 1.32 seconds is the advantage over Alistair Camp. Jack Ashton in third, Stuart Window fourth. And that's changed around as I speak, because Stuart Window taking the place away from Jack Ashton. He's got to be careful as well because he's got Chris Smith just behind him as well, has the Metro driver. But they turn their way through the right-hander at Wilson for the second and final time in this race. Looks like Ashton is going to try and fight back as they go into public. No, just tucks back in behind the winged Integra.
Looks like David Drinkwater's got ahead of Martin Paget in Class C, and then Stringfellow, Tate Tavern and Tom Hall is the top three in Class B. Jack Ashton might lose fourth now. I think whatever the setup he put on for this race hasn't really worked out, has it? With Chris Smith trying now to pass him as well, and he's going to try and do what Ali Camp did a lap ago, go around the outside at Hamilton. Meanwhile, the Class B cars come through. There's Paul Jarvis, it's back up to fourth after not such a good start to this race. He's with Tom Hall then, so that's the Renault Clio ahead of the Citroen Saxo. But for the lead, Alistair Camp is catching Ryan Polly, so this might not be done yet, and Chris Smith did get ahead of Jack Ashton there, so Ashton's down to fifth place, but Smith runs out, has a bit of a grassy moment.
Give Jack Ashton the opportunity to get back ahead. He's got the momentum on his side as they head up the Bentley straight towards Brundle and Nelson. Polly has Camp a bit closer to him, but not close enough really to challenge as they head into the Brundle and Nelson sequence. Further back it is Window in third. Ashton is in fourth. He's got back ahead of Chris Smith then as they head through that compression out of the bomb hole and towards the right-hander. It is still Polly ahead as they go through Coram. Then checkered flag is being made ready. You can see below us. So Ryan Polly, after leading the first race but retiring, I think he is going to get a victory out of the weekend after all of that. Out of the corner they come. Murray's up towards the line, and it's going to be just Ryan Polly that takes the win in the final round of the season of the PBS Brakes Hot Hats Championship by 35 hundredths of a second over Alistair Camp in second place. Stuart Window third. Jack Ashton is fourth. Chris Smith is fifth. Chris McCloy is sixth. Neil Stringfellow is seventh overall and winning Class B. Second in Class B is number 22, Tate Tavern. And Paul Jarvis did get third in Class B. In the end, he got the better of Tom Hall on that final lap.
Class C yet to take the flag, and it's David Drinkwater ahead. Meanwhile, battles a bit further back, but Drinkwater wins Class C from Martin Paget, and Paul Warren gets on the podium in third. We
saw Jared Coulson's Clio off the road at Murray's on the final lap, so he lost a little bit of ground as well, dropped him outside the top 20 in actual fact, which is where he was going into it. So yes, as you say, David Drinkwater winning Class C by about 3 seconds in the end from Martin Paget, 18th position overall for him at the end of that 2-lap race. And just coming through now is number 137, that's Zach Irvin in his Clio 182, and I think he's going to be the he's not even going to make it to the finish. Unfortunately, he's going to go straight into the pit lane. So Zach Irvin not making it as far as the checkered flag. So we'll have a look at the results from that PBS Brakes Hot Hats Championship race then. And it was Polly that took the win in car 36, 35 100ths of a second clear of number 45, Alistair Camp. In third place, it was number 82, Stuart Window. Fourth to number 79, Jack Ashton. Fifth was number 18, Chris Smith. Then Chris McCloy, number 37, was sixth, ahead of Neil Stringfellow, 74. Tate Taverner, number 22, in eighth place, and Paul Jarvis, 58, ninth. So these were the first three finishers in Class B. Sean Green, 33, rounded out the top 10 after his grassy moment. Further back, you can see that David Drinkwater, in 18th place, number 1. He was our Class C winner, again already confirmed as the champion, of course. Martin Paget, number 20, 20th overall, and second within Class C. And then Paul Warren, 98, completed the Class C podium. A bit further back, you got the likes of Daniel Cogswell in his Nissan Almera. You got the Corrado of Stuart Kennedy, which we didn't see too much of on screen, which is a great shame because we love the Corrado. And Jared Coulson in his Clio, 26th in the end after his off. And final few cars to say, Zach Irvin didn't make it to the end, but Julian Ellison, John Hobbs, Jerry Frost and Matt McCarthy, who must have restarted from the pit lane, all did. So that's the PBS Brakes Hot Hatch Championship, a win then for Ryan Polly to round out the weekend, the triple header for the Hot Hatches. And we look forward to seeing them again next year. Still 4 races to come here today. We've got the Swallow Hill Homes F1000 Championship decider coming up next. For them, we've got the Mazda 7s, the Protec Shocks Sports Specials even. And then we've got the Gas Shocks 116 Trophy to round out the weekend's action with a 90-minute race. But let's head down to Matt Suckling, who's going to speak to Ryan Polly.
Thanks very much, Ian. Yep, down here with our race winner for the final Hot Hatch race of the year, and that, of course, is Ryan Polly. Ryan, many congratulations. You finally got to the top spot this weekend. You've been trying race after race.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare weekend, but we got there eventually.
What have the problems been this weekend for you?
All sorts. I had drive shaft troubles Friday morning, suspension trouble Friday afternoon, and then an electrical issue whilst leading yesterday. So I've had my fair share.
Yeah, you got him out of the way early on, and of course this final race of the year for you is a win. So it's a nice way to end 2021.
Yeah, it's nice to end on a high. I was gutted about the red flag. I'd actually managed to pull it off from the outside at turn 1 for the lead, and then the red flag come out, but it worked out in the end. Ali Camp was right there as always, trying to push you hard and trying to force you into a mistake. Yeah, that's Alistair. That's what he's like. But no, I enjoy racing with him. He's hard, but he's fair, so it's all good.
Good stuff. And what are the plans for next year? Back again, or something a little bit different?
I've really no idea. Probably the same again. It all depends on that one problem being finances, but we'll see.
Great stuff. Well done, Ryan, on the victory to end the year.
Thank you.
There we go, Ryan Polly with the victory. Let's have a quick chat if we can with Ali Camp. 2 seconds, sorry, we'll be with you in a minute. Ali, if you can come and have a quick chat with us, of course, is now the Class A champion. Ali, can we have a quick word with you? Sorry. Well done, Ali. Second place in that race, champion, of course, in Class A for this year as well. You tried your hardest there. A few problems towards the end?
Yeah, I just had a bit of brake knock off, but it's no excuses. But obviously, I wanted to say thanks for everyone that's made it possible this year, and obviously Robert Air Motorsport, massive thing. The wife for putting up with me, for obviously going off racing. My old man obviously helps an awful lot with it, and then like Toby, everyone basically that's helps come spanner for me and everything. Like I say, obviously without them boys, I'm doing like obviously 50% of it in the car, but like I say, without the people in the paddock, you can't get out there. So.
It's nice to have a little bit of normality this year as well, of course, after last year, reduced calendar and stuff like that. But we're kind of getting back to normal, and it's nice to have you back on form as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice, like I say, to get out and be part of it all. And it's like I say, Snet's probably my worst track, but we came here, we knew what we had to do this weekend to seal the championship, so that's what we've done. We've just done enough.
And all in all, this year, you've enjoyed it?
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. Well done, Ali. Many congratulations on Class A. And let's go and see if here he is. David Drinkwater, our Class C champion, and mainly overall the champion as well. So it's been a classic year for you, and back on the top step.
Yeah, it's been a really good year, hasn't it? You know, Louis built a great little car there. Louis from Maha, he's put life and soul into that years ago, and it's done really well. And this year's been good. Another third year, I've been pushed all the way by Ali and by other team people in Class C. You know, and I think they started, 3 years back. I think James Winstanley just said, why don't you come out in the compact and have a go? And I did, and that was it, and I loved it. And that's why I keep coming back, running in the hot hatch. And I like 750, I've run in 750 for years, and running in the hot hatch has been really good.
I think many people like you enjoy this kind of championship because with the numbers we've got on the grid this weekend, it just shows testament to how popular the hot hatch is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive grid, isn't it? 40-odd cars, I think 45 initially, and a couple dropped out for testing, whatever. But yeah, it's a big grid, evenly split across the classes, I think, which makes it good. You know, it's a bit of a mix with the C's because we battle with the B's as well. So we have a bit of a testament there and a bit of a fight. But yeah, I think overall the car's done really well all year. I think one little bit of a problem in the middle of the year with some fuel pumps, but other than that, she's been bulletproof.
And in terms of the rest of this year, I know you're a busy man with other things and doing other racing. Anything left for 2021?
Yeah, we've got the Burkett next week.
Yep.
So try and win that again for the third time.
Yep.
We're having the same three amigos, myself, Paul Hinton and Adam Reed in 3 compacts. Hopefully our handicap's kind, but I don't think it will be after winning it twice. We just need some rain, and then Race of Remembrance in November, which we do for the forces, go up to Anglesey. Lovely weather in November in Anglesey, sideways rain, so yeah, it's still got a couple to go.
Well, good luck for next Saturday, and well done on this year, David.
Awesome, thank you very much.
There we go then, a couple of champions there in Class C and of course Class A, and some really good racing this year in the Hot Hats Championship, which we look to enjoying in 2022 as well. Right then, we're going to move on next with the Swallow Hill Homes F1000 Championship, and it's all to play for in that final race of 2021. So let's hand you back upstairs to Ian Soman and Josh Barrett.